The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Well, it's a
You can
joyful
talk about
time.
this later, Bill.
It's a joyful time inside the SWBC.
Why is that,
podcast
sir?
studio.
Why is that, sir?
We have
Cut
a
to the
vacant
chase.
Because
seat.
we got people outside in pads.
That's right. We've got football players on a football field wearing
With pads on,
today.
yes.
Do you think Mickey's out there
With pads
in
on.
That's where he is, everybody. That's where he is.
Yeah, he is on the football field. He's getting a tryout
Don't say.
as we speak.
Check that Achilles. See how it's going.
Yeah.
If Savannah, if you don't know, Mickey has had an Achilles accident.
Who
Right?
doesn't know that?
I don't think she cared.
He brings
I
it
don't think
up
she
every
cared.
week.
Yeah.
Whenever an NFL player has an Achilles injury,
Right.
Mickey
We got to
says,
go through Mickey.
Let me tell you about my Achilles injury.
We got to go through Mickey.
I bet mine's worse than yours.
Yes, right. It was horrible. Let me tell you about it.
That's
Yes.
right. But isn't it fun when Mickey's not here?
It
we
is,
can just
isn't
talk
it?
and talk
Wow,
about,
that's funny.
We can talk about Mickey.
That's good stuff.
He's gonna watch this back later and be like,
Right. He's
can't
gonna
believe I
come back
missed
mad.
this.
You know, he's always mad.
This will teach him to show up late. But I guess we're going to. Are we going to fine him, or is it an excused absence?
I'll give
What
him
do you
some
think?
credit. He was early to the press conference room today, so
Oh,
he was
okay.
ready to go for Coach McCarthy.
was.
already.
He must
Okay.
really be. There he
Here he
goes.
comes. Here he comes. Okay, act like we haven't been talking about him.
We have not
okay?
been talking about Mickey.
Okay,
We have not been talking about him. Who cares about
We haven't.
Spags?
Yeah.
We don't care about Spags and his Achilles. Nobody cares. We just hear it all the time.
I'm just amazed there are football players on a football field outdoors here with all the
In
rain we got
pads.
last
Man.
night. Wow.
Do we have
know.
natural grass
We
out
have
there?
one field.
That's the far field.
Yeah.
That's the one they're on, right?
Yep.
You,
Which they redid.
You also had an owner on the field, too.
I heard about that. That's your excuse, right?
Yeah.
That's your
Not an
built-in
excuse. It was my priority. Not sitting here chit-chatting with you guys.
Hey, how you know that's what we were doing?
I know what you were doing.
Go back and listen to the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Were your ears burning?
You want me to just put my phone up to the microphone so you know what he said?
Yeah. That's a good
Until the
idea.
music started. Couldn't
Oh, they
hear.
were practicing.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got ready to start practicing, so the music cranked up. And it's
Yeah.
okay, can I put this right in his face?
They don't realize that the owner is out there on the field.
Now,
All
he's
I
been
know
on the
is
field before, and there hasn't been a crowd of reporters around him. He's out there all the time.
Yeah, but probably not when he makes himself available to the reporters. He must have walked
so
in.
what's the
He
occasion?
must have been in a good mood because we crossed in the elevator and he goes, "Oh, good to see you." And I was like, "Good to see you
Oh,
too."
okay. You never get that.
Good to be seen.
Yeah, nobody gets that. Spag never gets that from anybody.
No, I get it from him all the time. What are you talking about?
So, he didn't reveal.
He basically said he didn't think from a trade deadline thing. He said he didn't see anything out there that would make him jump to do, whatever. But that you never know when someone comes to you. He goes, obviously, I'm not opposed to trading, as you've seen from my history. And he said, basically, and if you're coming to me, you better be prepared to do it because I will.
The trigger can be pulled real fast.
But he said he thought that this roster, as it is right now, is good enough to get them to where they want to go. So he's happy with the roster.
The key word there is as it is right now.
Right now. That's right. And so you never know what happens at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, right?
Right.
Or 2 o'clock on Sunday, which makes the roster different.
Could also, right, or 3 o'clock on Sunday after the game's over, right? He also talked about how there's kind of, and I caught it just at the end of it, underlying feelings playing a team like the Rams and their history and, kind of where he grew up and, the whole deal. Matthew Stafford kind of coming home and all the respect he had for the Rams organization.
Mm-hmm.
So
Rams organization closely tied to the Cowboys organization back
right
in the past.
in
Yeah.
a lot of history, playoff history,
Personnel
history, where Tex Schramm came from, kind of got his start in football. So and he hadn't done that out at practice yet. That was the first time this year, I think, he's made himself available. So he must be in a good mood.
That's why I looked out there. I saw reporters huddled around somebody. I figured it might be Jerry. I thought, we got some breaking news
That's
to talk
what we were
about here
hoping.
on
It
Mick
wasn't
Shots.
breaking,
We were
but
hoping.
it was just available. It was funny because we crossed after I finished my report with
look at the crowd.
the fan.
Look at my people.
Oh, yeah.
They'll come to see me.
There's a game on Sunday.
All right. That's
People
right.
are in town, right? Tours are big. Mm-hmm. No, I went up back to my desk after I passed them in the elevator and got my stuff, and then I looked out and I was kind of watching practice, and then all of a sudden I saw a pack of people, and I said, I should
let me get
probably
over here.
hurry down
Let me
there.
get my nosy self over
That's
here.
right, absolutely.
So he doesn't think that there's anyone out there that
He
wets his whistle.
He didn't put it that way, sort of depending on what the price is, right? The availability to what you have to give up. He didn't figure there, because I was just kind of reading on the internet today that, everybody's saying, well, the Cowboys want a cornerback. And I was like, well, okay. And then I thought about it, and it's like, well, if you get a sweetheart deal and you get a starter cheap, then let's think about the future, right? Because if Gilmore only plays on a 1-year deal, then you're going to need another corner next year, right? Now, what would be the cost? Well, if one is available that was a former first-round pick on his original contract, you don't have to account for the signing bonus, right? Just the base salaries, and the base salaries, second, third, fourth year aren't that high. And if the guy's that good and you liked him coming out of the draft, then why not? And you look at it not for this year, but for next year, and it might be the cheapest way to get another starting corner. Because you can't have enough corners, right?
That's true. I mean, we've been waiting on someone to say that. We've never said that in this room. That's what I know. We've never said those words in this room. So I've been cheating, watching some of the other shows, and they were throwing out some names.
Well, be careful now, because they're under contract.
I'm throwing them out at you.
No, don't say other people said.
So we can say it if we say other people have said.
Yeah,
have mentioned.
That's right. I was
They're
cheating. I
negative.
said I was cheating watching another show.
What was that, Producer Supreme?
Negative.
What did he say?
He said negative. We ain't saying nothing. man.
Not on his watch.
Yes, sir. Christopher, sir.
He's got the button to bleep us,
That's
right?
right.
They're not cussing, but they're saying the wrong
Well,
name.
that might
Maybe you can disguise it by saying the type player that you're talking about.
a big bruiser, big, ground and pound guy, at a particular position that carries the ball. Can I say that?
That's good.
All right,
I like
damn.
that.
How vague?
right.
How vague do I have to be?
That's better.
That's good.
Thank you,
That's
Chris.
good.
That was
That's
great.
better. He said.
And
That's about all I got.
and in that case, it'll cost you a lot.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
It will.
Well,
But he knows what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the same thing
I
at
think I know too.
Yeah.
and the same
That'll
thing
cost
at
you-
the cornerback position too,
And wide receiver position.
and wide receiver.
Yeah. Because they've got, some guys out there that
Bring it all in.
they love to gamble. They Sin City.
The good thing
They
out,
catch the ball, not carry the ball.
the good thing out
They're
there.
not really big. They're kind of my size. So
It was
you
good
guys
that
know
they
what I'm
have,
talking about?
I do.
they have everybody out there practicing though, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, how about that injury report yesterday?
That was great.
There was one person
good.
on the injury report, and he was a full participant, and that's Wanye Thomas.
I saw him out there when we left. I saw him running around.
And
Why was he even on there?
that was because he had to come off the not playing the year.
Oh, okay.
the
That's the
week-
only
before.
reason because he did not play in the last. If he had played the last game, they would
Then
not.
it
have
would-
Yeah, it was
put
very
him on.
odd. That was the last guy that we spoke of yesterday, and then I look out there and I see him running around.
But very important, by the way, since yesterday when they had the point list up on the video board in the locker room, and they have John Fossil has a point system on grading his special teams guys, and usually C.J. Goodwin is at the top. Well, with him missing the last game or two, the top special teams player in points was Wanye Thomas, and they missed him in the game last week, right? So significant that they get him back out there. And it doesn't have to do with total tackles.
Yes.
It just has to do with your game evaluation.
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah.
Getting a positive.
And by the
on
way, C.J. Goodwin still hasn't given up on himself. He was out there trying to do some rehab on the courts.
Tell him to be careful.
With Peyton Hendershot, which is an improvement since he's been hurt, because I haven't seen him. I had to remind myself. I said, 89? Did they give 89 to one of those practice squad guys? And, it's Hendershot. So, yeah, that was good to see him. Maybe he's getting closer. Although he's on IR, but it's a good thing that you're doing rehab like he is, because haven't seen Leighton Vander Esch out there. So
You see Eric Saubert out there?
Saubert. Not
Saubert.
the syllable. We talked about the syllable.
I'm assuming he was,
Second
otherwise he wouldn't have been signed. Although I don't think he made it to the
He's wearing like 47.
47.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Dexter Clean Scale.
Ooh, there you go.
Fullback. Yeah, I didn't.
You don't play that game?
I didn't catch.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, right.
We'll be.
The history
Chris will
of
be like,
47s.
okay, let's get on with it.
You just say a number. What's the Cowboys player that comes to mind?
Former.
Yeah, it can be former. Just what Cowboys player comes to mind when you say 8?
Well, okay,
That's
I'm
easy.
good on that.
How about 94?
I'm
Easy.
good on that.
Oh well,
Got a
say
couple
it.
of them. Haley.
Say it.
How about 40?
Haley. Bates.
Bates.
Very good.
Easy.
24.
Oh, it's the only one. There's only one. There's only one.
Morris Claiborne.
That's a good one. Larry Brown. Yeah, yeah.
Larry Brown. Come on, Super
How
Bowl
come they haven't
MVP.
retired that number?
Because of Larry Brown.
Okay.
That's why they won't retire it, because of Larry Brown. Yeah.
It was
It's
too much good luck.
It's available. So, by the way, did you? I didn't realize this. We didn't talk about it yet, but did you see that Sean McVay's a new father?
I did.
Yes.
Tuesday. How nice of his wife to give birth on the day there's no practice, right?
You think they induce labor?
Well,
Yeah, they do.
you know what?
It's like, we
That's a
gotta
fair
get it.
Fair question.
They did not. Producer Supreme, who knows all.
How would he know that?
Because I read that her projected due date was August 31st. And that was the
It's
day.
It's
The math
October.
I mean,
not adding
October,
up.
sorry. October.
Well, she pushed it
hang
back that
with
long.
me.
They should have induced
Wow.
a long
Mr.
time ago.
Mr.
That's
Perfect.
a big baby.
Mr. Perfect. Just
That's
That's a
hang
big
with
baby. He's
me.
gonna come out
And don't
15 pounds.
Don't bury the
He's going
lead.
to start at defensive tackle this week.
Because since you guys are so perfect, that Sean McVay's grandfather, John McVay, who was very instrumental in coaching and being a GM for
In
the
building
San Francisco 49ers,
Right.
passed away last year on October 31st.
Nice.
And so the baby's middle name is John, Jordan John McVay. Now shut up.
Just got to get it right, Spag. We can't let you get away
Can't
with
have
that.
it just
man.
make one mistake. We'll see how.
Can you imagine if
We'll
you
see
let a
how-
pregnancy go that long? August 31st.
We'll
to
see how
October.
That's
good
a hell
you
of a
guys.
wife, ain't it? I knew women were strong, but damn.
We'll see how good you
That's a
do.
strong woman there, boy.
We'll see how good you do on Monday without us. Okay.
All right. Hey, give me some. We're going to be
we
ready
got
for you
that.
guys.
Yeah.
Challenge. Challenge.
And the listeners and viewers are applauding too, because you know what happens when we're not here? The phone lines are open.
That's right.
It's
Oh,
open
yeah.
line Monday,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'll be listening.
No, you won't.
Oh, I will
not
be
be
listening. You'll get a call in. Now,
Your
what
ears.
Oh, he's gonna
his-
call
what
ya.
did they
His
say?
ears will be burning. All right. That's one thing I know. Your ears will be burning.
What did they say?
All right, we're just getting started on How would you describe this edition of Mixed Shots?
Pads are on.
Yeah, on a padded version.
There you go.
Padded Thursday version of Mixed Shots. And we continue in a moment.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mixed Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, if trade talks are not at a level that you would expect to do anything right now, at what point do you think trade talks will get to a level that you might expect to do something? At what point before Tuesday at 3 o'clock? It'll be after the games on Sunday. Everybody in the league's playing on Sunday, and so everyone is going to see, okay, we're thinking about that we could shore up the running back position or the cornerback position or the wide receiver position or tackle or whatever. Well, then you lose a player on Sunday, and then all of a sudden we need this player. And so I don't anticipate, unless there's deals that are already in place to replace injured players, like what Seattle just did signing Frank Clark, because they lost Uchenna Nwosu to an injury. They needed an edge rusher. Things will heat up after Sunday when all 32 teams are in action.
Yeah, or somebody comes to you with a deal you can't pass up. Mm-hmm. Like we're probably.
But I would think most teams are sitting there going, "Let's see what happens on Sunday."
Oh, yeah.
They're going to wait till Monday.
Yeah, because you might have another need, or you might need that player that you want to peddle. Mm-hmm. So,
or you're getting desperate because you want to peddle a guy because you know you're going to lose him in free agency the next year because you don't want to pay whatever it's going to cost, which also factors into any trade, right? Is this guy how do you say the guy's name? Byard?
Kevin Byard.
Byard? Well, he wanted more money, and they probably think, well, we're not re-signing you to that kind of money, so let's get something for you now. And I think that factors into the situation.
In fact, the player that they got from the Eagles in that trade has been playing a lot for the Eagles too. So he can just go there. It's not like the Titans are giving up on the season, even with their record.
Yeah, and then you basically have a 10-game interview for going into the next offseason on what you do in the draft or in free agency. So, and it's probably cheaper too. So I think all that stuff factors in.
Who's the linebacker we just signed that we were so?
Rashaan Evans.
Yeah.
Is he going to play?
He's out there practicing.
That's good.
Number
57?
30. I thought he had 32 on. 57.
Maybe he was last year then, maybe.
Oh, okay.
He's number 32.
32. 32. You know, when we were talking numbers earlier, I was going to throw out 32.
Who was that? 32.
Here,
Come on.
give
Dennis
me
Thurman, man.
Give me a second.
Dennis Thurman.
Walt Garrison.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's a good one. Yep, of course. That's
There
a
you
good one.
That was Garrison's number,
Yes.
32.
Yeah, that's
So you were supposed to say that. That was your dude, man. You supposed to say something.
I didn't watch him play, so I
You
would
just
have
helped
only
him get home.
I just
You just helped him get home.
just seen pictures.
So Rashawn,
right?
so do y'all like the fact that linebackers now or in other positions they can wear whatever number? Do you like that? Because a couple of years ago, you sign a linebacker and he's wearing in the 50s.
I discriminate a little bit because I just don't think a lineman necessarily looks good with 15 on.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm a no on that.
I want the offensive linemen to have the numbers that they have. Defensive linemen, a defensive lineman number one, a defensive tackle, it just doesn't look well to me. Now, as far as DBs are concerned, I'm all for them having.
Do they have a
number
rule
How about
on the offensive line? The number you have to wear.
offensive line? You do.
You do, right?
Yeah,
so
yes.
no offensive lineman's going out there with
But
15.
I'm with
Yeah.
D linemen too. I don't like D linemen doing it either.
Yeah.
I don't like D linemen.
50 through 79.
Yeah,
Chris?
That's
that's
standard.
That's
That's
what I
for
thought.
the
Say.
officials. The
Yeah.
officials got to make sure.
Yeah.
I don't like D linemen with these particular numbers. Parsons with number 11 looks good on him, but
Well,
D lineman,
that's a linebacker mostly, right?
and that's not bad.
Yeah.
How about 6 on a cornerback?
Oh, of course, yes,
How about 44 on a cornerback?
of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that's old school 44. Yeah,
Ahkello Witherspoon, starting corner for the Rams, is 44. Darian Kendrick, starting cornerback, is number 6. So they're just getting you familiar. How about 14 on a cornerback?
seems more of an offensive.
Okay,
number.
Kobe Durant, another cornerback, wears number 14. I'm
For
just
some reason, I think
familiarizing
wide
yourself
receiver with
the
these
Rams.
type of numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, looking at the Rams, it is amazing what they have done, especially on the defensive side of the football, putting together a team that's been competitive with a bunch of guys who are either undrafted or very late round draft picks. I mean, it's incredible what Les Snead has done with this team.
But they're surrounded. They surround this one
Number
magical
99.
player, right? So I guess you could put a lot of role players around someone like Aaron Donald. I don't think that takes away a little bit of his genius points, because you have the star right there in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, so other than Aaron Donald, give me somebody else on the Rams defense and don't look.
Oh, it's too late. I'm already looking.
No, I studied him last night. That's why I'm saying that it's amazing what they have put around him and where they have found some of these players. Number 97, Michael Hoyt. That's how you pronounce his last name.
Good job. Because I would not have known.
Hoecht. Michael Hoyt. He is 6'4", 310 pounds, and they line him up on the edge. Okay, and he plays all special teams too, and he's getting 50 to 60 snaps a game.
His
on the
size is
defensive
what
line.
again?
6'4", 310,
and he's the outside.
and he's playing an edge rusher. They line him up on either the left or the right side.
Well, they're in a 3-4.
They're in, but at 310 pounds,
Still, yeah.
Well, you want to force him to cover somebody?
Well, and there is evidence on tape where he's covering backs coming out of the backfield.
No, I got to see that.
Yeah.
O'Shawn Mathis is his backup, by the way. We all know about him.
Do we?
Yeah.
How do we know?
I have
Rookie.
no clue.
He's from TCU. He went to
Sarcasm. I think I
TCU.
just got his
6th round
back.
draft pick this year out of Nebraska, and also went to TCU.
So
He's
their
6'5", 260.
other starting linebacker is Christian Roseboom.
Christian Roseboom, college free agent 2020 out of South Dakota State.
How much
Undrafted.
How much have you heard about Darian Kendrick?
Darian Kendrick. Now, he was a Clemson and Georgia guy. He transferred from one to the other, but he was a 6th round draft pick, and he's a starting corner. He started 6 games last year.
I think the point is
There's more. Let's keep going. This is fun.
They've
He studied. He studied all night. He wants to brag.
They've paid a high price for some of the trades they've made.
They paid a high price for the Super Bowl. Yes, that's right.
And now they're playing with
but they're proving
Jordan Fuller and Russ Yeast.
Russ Yeast
at safety.
Russ Yeast is rising and
okay. All right. Okay.
And then you got
out of Louisville, and he transferred from Kansas State to Louisville. Okay. 5'10", 195 pounds. He's your starting strong safety. He's a 7th-round draft pick last year.
Okay, give me something on Ernest Jones IV.
Ernest Jones IV out of South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He is one player, a 3rd-round pick who has a little bit of pedigree going for him, as well as Byron Young, their 3rd-round pick this year out of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Who is
what's the pedigree?
Meaning they're SEC guys,
okay.
and they are second-day draft picks.
But
this Michael Hoyt. Okay, getting back to him.
Yes,
you know where he went to college?
Where?
He is the only player in the NFL from Brown University, an Ivy League school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was undrafted in 2020, COVID year. So the pro day that he was supposed to go to got canceled. And so a buddy of his got together with him during COVID, and they put a video together of him doing his own personal pro day. And at 310 pounds, they said he ran a 4.640.
Well, he said it.
Right. All right.
His buddy timed it.
So he got the attention of the Rams defensive line coach, who had nothing better to do during COVID because there was nothing they could do. He was just looking at videos of players around the country, and he said he looked at every single play of Michael Hoyt's senior year at Brown University and said, you know what? I think this guy can play in this league.
But he went through a lot. I mean, okay, his history, if I'm reading this correctly, April, they signed him. July, COVID, in 20.
So he sat
August, in August, he was activated.
Yep.
And then in September, he was waived.
Right. And so he was one of those guys. Nobody. He's an easy guy you can put on the practice squad or waive or whatever. But
that was the next thing. Yes, he was practice squad. Yes.
Doesn't mean that you've given up on him. It just means nobody else is going to sign him. He's a safe guy, and he redshirted, and he sat there and watched Aaron Donald every single day and figured out, as a smart guy, went to an Ivy League school. He figured out what he needed to do.
He knew who to look at.
And patterned himself after that. And he winds up last year, he started 6 games for him, had 4.5 sacks, and he's already got 2.5 sacks this year in 7 games, and he starts for him. Amazing. Then they've got another starter on their defensive line, 92, Jonah Williams. Same year, college free agent, undrafted, out of Weber State. And here we are in 2023, 3 years later, he's starting on their defensive line. And they've been competitive in games. We talked about it yesterday. They, played the San Francisco, a 1-score game, 30-23. The 19-16 game against Cincinnati. Just last week, against Pittsburgh, they had a lead in the 4th quarter and lost 24-17.
Yeah, that was very disappointing. That was not a Sean McVay type of game. But he got out-coached.
But I think, more than anything, I think it's a case study for other teams around the league that there are Everson Walls type players that are out there, and you can find them.
They're close. They're close. They're not quite.
And just think about guys. Think about yourself, Everson. If you hadn't got a shot, if someone hadn't believed in you 20 years ago, and you wouldn't be sitting here on Mick Shots today.
Well, it was close. It was close.
But don't play the percentages on all that.
You ain't lying about that, buddy.
And so, this is stuff you're just mining the fields, trying to find diamonds in the rough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of all of these guys on defense, who are we most concerned about?
You said it yesterday. You said it yesterday, Savannah.
I know.
Number 99. And to me, I'm looking at this. They did well when they had money. They did well when they had the draft, the players, and they made the trades. But it's still hard to win a championship just because you have those players. Mm-hmm. So give McVay credit for that. But I'm also pivoting here. I'm giving them a lot of credit based on what you're telling me here, Bill, that they still know how to recruit, even with on a budget.
Yeah, and know what traits to look for in guys.
That's impressive. That's impressive. That's when you really know what kind of front office you have, when you see them doing the things that they're doing with these type of players. Nothing wrong with their pedigree at all, but it just is not as impressive as when they won the Super Bowl. Those pedigrees are not.
2014 draft, the Rams selected in the first round Aaron Donald, number 13 overall. Who went number 16 overall that year? Zach Martin, the Cowboys. How about those two picks in the middle of the first round?
Well, the Cowboys had their eye on Donald until he disappeared. And then who was
Brian Shazier went right before.
Shazier, because the Cowboys were going to take him.
But
Steelers?
Yes, and had the neck injury.
Had the neck injury, yeah.
Aaron Donald was not the Rams' first pick in that draft. They had the second overall pick. They took offensive tackle Greg Robinson, who did not
Let me
last
see.
long.
Is he on here? Can I find him somewhere on here?
He hasn't been
Probably
in the
on
league
about his third
for
team.
several years. He hadn't been in the league. But so, yeah, they hit on Aaron Donald. What a great pick that was. Well, he was their second pick in the first round. Greg Robinson was their first, number 2 overall. Who was the number 1 overall pick in 2014? Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
It wasn't Johnny Football?
Johnny Football was, in the 20s?
Football.
Top 3 picks that year were Clowney, Greg Robinson, Blake Bortles went number 3, Sammy Watkins number 4, and finally we hit on one with number 5, Khalil Mack.
So the draft is not a perfect science.
No, it's not.
Telling me.
Yeah, I could.
Brandon Cooks went number 20 in that draft.
Well, and he's still playing.
It's in his 10th year in the league, as these others are. And DeMarcus Lawrence went number 34 in that draft.
He looks good for 10th year in the league. He still looks young.
So 4 players in this game were in the top 34 picks in that draft in their 10th year in the league. How tough is it to play 10 years in this league, Everson?
It's tough.
Yes.
It's tough. The consistency has to be there. Now, a lot of these guys these days, they have a couple of good seasons. And they get a commercial and things of that nature, and now they're riding on their fame. Of course, here we couldn't do that. Not just myself, Michael Downs. He couldn't. Mike had to make tackles, every game to get the credit that he deserved. You had guys like Dexter Clinkscale, good player, but injury prone. And so you don't have to just be good. You have to be healthy, and that's hard to do.
Nate in Frisco wants to point out that the Titans have been going downhill ever since they lost A.J. Brown.
That is the fact.
To Philly, so give them all their players.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, we continue with more Mick Shots in just a moment. On that note.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
The 2024 PBR World Finals are taking over AT&T Stadium. It all starts on May 17th with Kid Rock's Rock and Roll Rodeo. Then on May 18th and 19th, the finalists compete in the 2024 PBR Championship. Let's rock and ride. 3-day tickets are on sale now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
How do people make plans for
May?
5 months, 6 months from now?
Easily.
I guess you
got nothing there.
Sometimes you have to.
You gotta put it in. Somebody's got to be first.
Especially
Mark it on your calendar.
Some event has to be
That's
first
all.
on your calendar.
Yeah.
Especially concerts, right?
Mm-hmm.
They sell
Yes.
tickets a year.
I can't wait for Dolly Parton, man. That's gonna be
Thanksgiving.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'll be a sales pitch for
I
tickets.
want to meet her. I want to meet her real bad.
Well, you better
She's
go to the
cool.
game first.
She's cool. Oh, I'll be there.
Oh, they'll have.
You don't think she'll come on a tour here or something?
Don't you think they'll have a press conference before the game? Maybe.
I don't know. Will they let me in?
For a press conference, you just flash your badge.
Okay. Be like, that's the wrong badge, sir.
It's been pretty cool the reaction everyone's had on that when it was announced.
Oh, they love it. People love this.
Come on, man. It's
Yeah.
Dolly.
9 to 5. 9 to 5.
It's just the longevity. How old is she now?
Yeah, well,
Like 70
Let's
something?
find out. Let's
She's
find out.
70 something years old, I
Bet
think.
she's getting close to 80.
Man, come on. She's still balling. That's good stuff.
She's 77.
77.
You're talking about 10 years, Bill. Forget 10 years. Come on. She's been balling for a long time.
Uh-huh. Mickey, what do you got on your legal pad?
I just wrote down that maybe Sean McVay will be distracted.
Worried about his kid. Okay, my thing is this. First of all, thank you guys for teaching me so much more about the Rams. I was so disappointed yesterday in the information that we shared, and I pointed it
Because
out.
I was studying baseball up until last night, so I stayed up
And
until 2 o'clock in the
did a
morning
great job, Bill.
studying the Rams just for Everson.
You took
I had
my
Everson
charge
on my mind.
Thank you, sir.
That's right.
Did you do any homework?
And I just have talked defense. We can go offense.
That's for when they leave. Me and you, we got this. I don't do homework when they're here.
Exactly.
Okay. But I would like to know more about their offensive line.
Oh, good. I'm glad you asked that because I was talking with.
Because the trenches is where this game's going to
I
be
was
won,
talking with Nate in Frisco this morning about number 73 on their offensive line. I said, this guy looks like Larry Allen.
Steve Avila.
Out of
Did I say it
TCU and South Grand Prairie High School. Rookie second-round draft pick. What was Larry Allen? Where was he drafted? What round was it?
Second round.
Second round.
Nice number.
Sonoma State.
I have my tongue firmly in cheek when I say that he reminds me of Larry Allen. He does wear 73. His body kind of looks like Larry Allen, and he has been very impressive. He's not. I'm not saying he's Larry Allen.
All right.
Nate in Frisco said, you need to go watch Larry Allen. You go find some video of Larry Allen before you come in here with that. But
Larry Allen
I
can
have been
run like
impressed
running backs.
with Steve Avila, though. TCU and South Grand Prairie High School. He is 6'3", 332 pounds, and a walk-in starter for the Rams at left guard.
And see, this is where the game's going to be won. You know, that's why I'm glad we're talking about the D-line and O-line. Because they're going to try and keep our offense off the field. That's going to be their main goal defensively. Keep us off the field so that their offense can control the game with a smart quarterback like Matt Stafford.
All right, would you like to know the history of their starting left tackle last week? Number 77, Alaric Jackson.
What a name.
He was undrafted 2 years ago. Another undrafted guy out of Iowa 2 years ago.
Was Joe Noteboom drafted?
Joe Noteboom was drafted in the third round, but he was starting earlier this year, the product of Plano Senior High School.
Man, they're just coming here taking all our guys.
Exactly. Huh? And but he was injured and actually against Pittsburgh did not have any offensive snaps, was active and had 4 special team snaps. So I'm not sure if Nope Boom is going to get back in that starting lineup at left tackle.
Well, that's
or
what
if they'll
they
go
got
with
him listed as.
Okay, so maybe Nope Boom will be back. But Jackson has started the last 3 games at left tackle for them. Rob Havenstein is a second-round pick, longtime starter at right tackle in his 9th year in the league. Their center is Coleman Shelton, who they got off the practice squad from Arizona. Yep.
You don't like to see this on your depth chart. It says Coleman Shelton or Brian Allen. I've never seen an or before.
And Brian Allen is a 4th-round pick out of Michigan State in 2018 and has only appeared in 1 game. So he's been...
That's a big or then, huh?
Uh-huh. Although Brian Allen, coming into the season, he was projected to be their starting center. So he's been battling an injury. And their starting right guard, Kevin Dotson, they acquired in a trade from Pittsburgh in late August when they saw they were having some issues on their offensive line. So that gets you up to speed on their offensive line.
And my next question is, how will they handle our defensive line?
That's a good question.
They better not handle it well if this team plans on winning. Because in my mind, you worry about Cooper Kupp and you worry about Puka Nacua, but the way you stop them is get in Stafford's face.
And you never mispronounce Puka's name.
Puka.
Yeah, you're good with that. You got his. You got that down.
Yeah. Don't ask me
the
about
hard names he can pronounce.
Don't ask me about his backup, though.
Right. Austin Trammell?
Ben Skowronek.
Skowronek.
Oh, okay.
Skowronek.
Oh, for Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for Puka.
Puka.
How about number 5?
Number 5. Tutu
You were
Atwell.
right, Savannah. You were right.
What, you think I can't say Tutu?
No, I just
It's okay. We're going to let it slide.
Right, we'll let it
slide today.
Cooper Kupp, first series of last game, he had 2 drops. I'm like, number 10, what's going on? Cooper, I guarantee you, Cooper Kupp, whether it was on the jugs machine or whatever, he has spent more time this week. I mean,
they didn't massage the ball well enough before the game. You know, they got it. They get an hour.
You talk about a guy who's going to come out balling this week. It's going to be Cooper Kupp after making 2 drops in the first, and he only had 2 catches in the game.
And we talked about how they really like to use Cooper and Puka in regards to the down and distance. They're not trying to go down the field necessarily. Of course they can, because Matthew Stafford can sling it. And these guys run great routes, intermediate and deep routes. But it seems like they're using their passing game for their running game. I think we talked yesterday about Puka had 15 catches, but it wasn't even for 150 yards. It was less than 10 yards a catch. To me, as a DB, I'm looking at that and saying he's running all short routes and intermediate routes.
Well, he only averages 13 yards a catch.
Right. Well, that's good. 13 yards a catch is good.
So maybe the ball was slick or something. Kupp couldn't catch it. You know, they only give him so much time to prepare the footballs before.
Not because of the weather, but because
just slick.
Yeah,
they've got to prepare them, and
not because of the Patriots.
And they only get. How about this? They only get 3 kicking balls prepared. So you work on the one that you're going to use. The second one, if you lose 2 of the footballs, that third one probably not been worked on. So now you're kicking a slick football.
That doesn't even register to me. That doesn't mean anything.
In case you lose.
Is 3 balls, that's not good?
If you lose 2 of them.
I mean, I just didn't know 3 balls
like
was
a bad kick that misses the net?
I don't know. I mean, 3 balls, I didn't know that was a big deal.
Speaking of kicking, the Rams did add Lucas Havrisik, correct?
We're going to go with it.
Havrisik.
I'm just saying that.
We don't have to know how to pronounce his name until he actually plays in a game.
But they did. They have a kicker.
Yep.
He was on the Browns practice squad.
He has not kicked in an NFL game.
That's why we haven't learned how to pronounce his name.
Thank you for that.
Probably the reason
Spag's supposed to come out with that.
Probably the reason why they worked out Mason Crosby too, just in case they didn't like what You got a kicker that hasn't kicked in a game, and the Cowboys have a kicker that's 16 in a row now to start his career.
Let's leave it up to that, hopefully.
Yeah, and seems pretty steady mentally, too.
You see the backup quarterback? Brett Rippon?
Yep.
Who?
Brett.
Oh, Rippon. Yeah.
Nephew, I think.
Nephew.
Mark. I think it's Mark Rippon's nephew.
Yes, I believe it is.
Mark was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually saw a college game. They almost ran out of footballs.
How many did they have? 3?
What do you mean?
Missouri was playing at Wisconsin, and the student tradition was when they kicked the ball into the student section at one end of the stadium, they would pass it up the stands and throw it out over the stadium. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there going, and they were killing Missouri. And my lead was the only hope Missouri's defense had to stop Wisconsin was they run out of footballs.
So
they scored 50.
So the footballs are like in the parking lot somewhere.
Yeah, 50-some points they scored.
I mean, you got a bunch of footballs in the parking lot.
So when some kids playing with them in their front yard.
Sort of what happened with Drew Pearson's Hail Mary touchdown. He threw it out of the stadium. Somebody's got it, and they don't even know what it is. They have no idea.
You know what? I have an idea. We are out of time on this edition.
All right, throw the football out of this
throw it out of the stadium.
All right, and so we will have a fabulous football fight song Friday edition of Mick Shots coming your way tomorrow.
All right, go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!